Welcome, everybody, to a Delco Nerd Network Hot Take. Guys, if you haven't seen a hot take before, well, it's where a few friends get in a basement, give our thoughts, give our opinions on a TV show, a movie, or a game, or an anime. Today, we're going to be talking about Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Here to discuss, as always, my chum, Chris Trio.
Gooch. Cyberpunk. Right?
Cyberpunk Edgerunners.
So
baby.
I got a question though. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt your intro.
Hey, I'm Anthony Ragucci. What's going on, Trio?
What's going on?
What do you got to say?
Edgerunners. It's cyberpunks, right?
What?
Edgerunners
is another name for Cyberpunk.
I did think that. I don't know why that kind of did make a chuckle. So I'm like, oh, so it's
I like how just jump right in. I do like how they like that the term cyberpunk is what you know what V is in the game and what these characters are in the show. Yeah. So like they don't really bring that up in the game. Like, oh, like you're just a cyberpunk. Like, okay, like that's a term. It's not, and it's also it's become the genre name.
Sure.
But
no, that is interesting. That is funny to think about that it's expanded beyond that. But yeah, Cyberpunk. I will say I wasn't gonna watch this just because this definitely felt more anime. Like, so you got
more anime than Castlevania, definitely.
That's what I was gonna say. I like it. Definitely feels less Western. It feels like it's definitely leaning into that anime stuff. I mean, there's many callbacks to Akira in this, right? Am I wrong about saying that? I feel like I've seen the same people.
They're in the same genre. Is there an Akira bike slide?
Not a bike slide. I thought there was like one shot of them on the roof that people were pointing to or something like that.
Oh,
I don't remember.
There's a shot for so in the outro when Lucy is sitting on her bed. That's from Ghost in the Shell.
Gotcha.
That shot of her with the exact same haircut.
Yeah, I definitely am feeling it in that. And listen, it's great. I mean, I'm not usually the biggest anime fan, but I will say I thoroughly enjoyed this. There were a few things where I was like, I didn't really like, but then by the end I was like, no, that's fine. I'm fine with it. But I
am glad you watch this because like even when it came out, I wasn't really sure. I mean. Hey,
I wasn't either.
We got to mention it, and let's keep the Cyberpunk spoilers to a limit.
Mention what, Gooch?
The controversy around Cyberpunk.
What controversy could you be talking about?
Edgerunners is Cyberpunk's second life here.
Seems to be,
and it's incredible. I don't think anyone, every time something like this happens, you never see it coming. But I don't really think anyone anticipated that Cyberpunk was going to have this resurgence that had nothing to do with the game. Just same thing like The Witcher. And guess what? CD Projekt Red 2 for 2 with their adaptations. We have The Witcher, which is fantastic.
I'm trying to think of what's the other medium adaptations. I guess we could put absolutely. Yeah, 2 for 2.
2 for 2, big 2 for 2, like hardcore 100%. Sure. Witcher and Cyberpunk Edgerunners are like fantastic.
No, and I mean Edgerunners was sitting on like the top 10 for a while, wasn't it? Even in the like on Netflix and stuff. Yeah. So no, and listen, I think it's even more of a feat that they got everyone in on an anime.
Yeah, so I think Trigger has done most notably Kill la Kill. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. No. I've never seen it. I know what it is, but
like a pretty prominent anime.
Yes. So I don't think they're the same people who did Castlevania.
Gotcha.
But yeah, this is definitely more of an anime than Castlevania. But again, I don't think you need to play the game to watch this anime.
No, I think it does. It's funny. It uses everything from the game in a very cool way, and I'm like,
locations.
I was Leonardo DiCaprio pointing at the screen the entire time.
I know where that is.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really cool that they decided to really go in depth with Night City and be like, okay, like let's look at the world that Cyberpunk made and let's take these exact locations and rip them out and put them in.
I got to give him credit. The establishing shot just in the first episode where David kind of comes out of his apartment, jumps onto the trash, and is kind of walking through Night City, and you get the sidewalks. You just get the feeling of this. It's a great establishing shot. That's all.
We're back in Night City, baby.
We are, and it feels like a lived-in place, and it feels cool. It's very interesting. This is obviously what the '80s thought the future would be. Isn't that kind of the idea of this? Like this is the '80s future. I still love how they have Bluetooth for certain things, but not for you still need it to jack out of your hand and fucking put it in your neck or something. But you can kind of hack someone from across the room for some reason. I don't know. It's very cool little things like that make me realize why this aesthetic I think works and has stuck
fantastic.
around. And it's really cool. What do you think about David as a character?
I really like David for the first half.
Yeah, I did too.
I really found him unlikable once he gets all the cyberware.
I agree.
And, consider this. The show's about a year in length, I think. It's like less than a year.
I was going to ask you, when does this take place?
2076.
Oh, okay, so it's a year before. All right.
Yes.
All right,
So and David goes from 17 to 18 in the show.
Got it.
He's 18 and he looks like that.
Yeah. Well, that's all cyberware.
The cyber, and I never really was under the inference that cyberware could like change your body type like that.
No, it's
you
true.
know?
I mean,
And
beyond
make
going
you,
like full
jacked.
Borg and as they say, like
Adam
with what's his
Smasher,
name,
yeah.
Adam Smasher, who was really cool to see.
Makes
I gotta say.
a cameo.
He's
in this.
good. No, it is very interesting, and I think I didn't quite understand what a cyber psycho was while playing the game.
Glad you brought it
And
up. I'm really
and now
glad
that they've
you brought
kind of they did a really good job of explaining like, oh, it's someone who's chroming themselves out, like they say, way too much,
and their body
can't handle it,
Yeah.
and it literally drives them fucking insane.
I'm really glad this anime explored that topic because the game really doesn't. We go on a few missions and we take down
there's some side
cyber
objectives
psychos
to do that,
and we
yeah.
get some story through some text or whatever, but like we really don't deal with any main characters going through cyber psychosis.
Yeah.
And this whole anime is pretty much about that. Like it's
sure.
not, it's David and it's Maine and they're both, they both end up going psycho.
Yeah.
And you kind of watch that and you understand it. And I'm like, that's awesome. And I'm like, I like how they kind of picked. I wonder when they were doing the story and they're like, what are we going to do it about? And they were like,
the
what are
cyber psycho
topics?
thing could be very compelling, yeah.
Right. And it was. I mean,
was.
it didn't the story didn't feel recycled from the game at all.
I
David's
totally agree.
a really like I just said, like a really great character in the beginning. Lucy is like the fucking greatest thing under the sun. Like, come on.
She's anime fan. But like,
Everything.
I just thought it was hilarious. It's like, oh, this cute little anime girl picks up a dude. This is every guy's fantasy. I know it.
Yeah.
But no, it's
Lucy's awesome.
Lucy is great. I do think there was like a weird. I didn't quite understand. By the end, I kind of accepted it a bit more, but I didn't quite understand why she wasn't telling him what she was doing, and like, and why she was taking out those people as we get. Are we gonna get into spoilers? How should we treat spoilers?
What do you want to do?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll let you decide. This is your show.
I think we've talked pretty highly of the show until now. Spoilers, guys. Go check this out before you.
If you have a
continue.
slight interest in it, give it an episode, because I will say I was only kind of intrigued.
25 to 27 minute episodes,
Each, yeah.
10 minutes, and it's only looking like one season. And
Yeah.
I would love to see more of this, maybe just like Cyberpunk, insert subtitles.
Well, I was
going
to say, I think this will be a great anthology series. Like,
For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, where you're just exploring different aspects of the
different
world.
characters. Yeah,
Absolutely. No, I think that could work.
Yeah. Let's talk about it,
Yeah.
man.
So Lucy, that whole idea of her going after the Netrunner. So she was going after them to stop them from finding David so that he wouldn't find out about the cyber skeleton. Is that what it is?
I don't think it has anything to do with the cyber skeleton. I think
she just knew that they wanted him.
Arasaka identified that David, what's that? What's his spine?
Sam starts with an S.
Yeah.
It's a military grade like spine implant that makes him run at super speed.
And the fact that his body was able to handle it so well, that's why Arasaka was like, no, don't expel him from school. We need him.
That was such a satisfying scene, by the way, when he beats the shit out of that kid. But I'm sorry.
Yeah. And dude, when he fights, that was really cool
was great.
too. But yeah, when he goes back to school and beats him up. Yeah, so Arasaka identifies him as like a good test subject. And you hear Adam Smasher at the end say you would have made a good
Construct. What is that?
It's what Johnny
is?
Silverhand
Okay,
is.
so what? So
Johnny Silverhand's a construct.
interesting. So other people, what are constructs? Do
I
they
think
get
it's the
into this
idea.
useful-
I don't know. I don't think Adam Smasher's a construct, but the idea is you can live forever. Like, remember?
I see. Okay.
Hironobu Arasaka is turning himself into a construct so he can live forever.
That's again. It's been so
just
long since I
reminder,
played.
yeah.
No, that makes total sense. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I think his animation was the most quality throughout it.
Adam Smasher's?
Yeah, like he looked so, and even just the way they cloaked him in darkness all the time, and his voice and everything. That's definitely the same voice
same
actor.
guy. Yep.
I like that he is just totally bored out, as they say, and just it's just kind of through like an electronic thing. Very fucking
That line
scary.
from the game when he goes, "You look like a fuckable piece of meat."
Yes,
It's
something.
like
It's
Jesus
just- oh my
Christ.
All right, man. And I love the idea of him being like almost a myth at that point.
Yeah,
even.
I mean, I think they correctly kind of established that in the game that Atom Smasher is like this legendary figure from like Johnny Silverhand's age, and he's just lived this whole time.
Yeah.
And he's
those
a full
flashbacks.
Borg.
I mean, we won't go too deep again into Cyberpunk spoilers, but in those flashbacks, he's still like a person-looking person, right? Like he looks more metal, but he still has like a human-looking face.
The pen and paper game has images of him, I think, when he was more normal looking.
Interesting.
I think because I went on like a deep dive and I was looking at like the characters and what they looked like before. Yeah, but I really like how like in the beginning it's sort of like he's kind of like a pretty good kid from like a goodish family.
Mom's just trying to give her life a better son, or give her life a better son, give her son a better life, and all that stuff.
And he quickly gets wrapped up into becoming a cyberpunk and an edgerunner, and he wears his mom's emergency like medical coat.
Yeah.
And that becomes like the signature look.
And then he finds the what is it called? It's like the it's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah,
but the implant that he uses.
Yeah.
I thought that was like a really good reveal when the guy was like, "Oh, you're what's her name? I can't remember his mom's name, but like when he has when Matt, what's his name? Maine has him like hung up. I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen? That was a nice little twist to be like, oh no, these people worked with his mom, and then that was a good in to. It's like, oh, that's cool to see where this is going.
Yeah, and then we get kind of we get introduced to Lucy beforehand. Lucy kind of like it's funny. So she like at first I you don't know what she's up to, and I guess she like kind of tricks him.
Yeah.
And like
she's like, oh, I can use him to get some stuff done, and then I'm gonna get him back.
And then she brings him back to her apartment, which, by the way, David's apartment is exactly V's.
So I was gonna ask,
and I think that's like not on purpose. I think it is on purpose, but I think everyone's apartment.
I was gonna
like
say
that.
they're probably just all mass produced and look the same. No, that
right.
that makes sense.
Yeah. So I got the impression that Lucy like is kind of fucking with David, but like while they're in the BD of
she's kind of like
the moon, she's like, I mean, like she like the way she like flirts with him and like with the hand. I was like, this is like really well done.
No, it's good.
I was like,
it puts a grin on your face for sure.
And the song that that fucking what's it called?
It's like
I want to go back to your room or whatever. I want to go back to your house.
Yeah.
That is in the game. It gets reused here. A lot of the music.
I really want to stay at your house.
Yes, I really do want to stay at your house. Trey.
Thanks. Not tonight. No.
Yeah, like a lot of that music comes back into the game. Not even just the radio songs, but the OST comes back. We get a Franz Ferdinand song as our intro, which is pretty interesting. Yeah. The music for this,
it's good.
And the outro animation of like Lucy's sort of like trauma is fucking great. And like the song, the guy who does the outro is a Polish composer.
They did all the samurai songs for that game, right? Or did they did a few samurai songs for that game? Like the
I don't think they did all of them.
Yeah, but they did. I know like Chippin' In is on there.
There's two versions of Chippin' In, like the one that the original, and then when is it Carrie Uridine comes back, he
does a remake of it. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, there's two versions of it. And I'm like, I don't think I like realized that.
You get a quick Rogue cameo at one point, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, the afterlife and the bartender there, like obviously like there's a ton of callbacks. Wakaku.
Yeah. Even the way she's like when you see them doing their like hacking interface, it's the one you use in the game.
It's the same one from the game. The calling, the noise.
Yeah.
Like the attention to detail with just the design of Cyberpunk, clearly these people who made this show played this game.
Well, and I will give them credit to where it's really tough for a game, movie, and or show or any type of lore to create made up lingo that feels real. And like Choom and like all this other stuff, the way everyone talks to each other, feels very natural and not made up, even though it is. And I gotta give them a lot of credit for doing that, because that's not an easy thing to do. It's just overall really well done. But I did notice something whenever they're talking on the phone. Did you notice they repeat a lot?
I was trying to figure out.
I was like wondering what that was. It was like more near the end too.
They do it all.
Or they do it all, because that's where I noticed it a lot. She was like, you need to like. I was curious about that because it was happening enough to where I was like, that has to be on purpose,
right?
Or like that has to be for a purposeful thing.
Yeah.
But no, congrats or hats off, I should say, to them on that. It's a tough feat to
Yeah,
accomplish.
if you know, leave it in the comments. 'Cause
Yeah, absolutely.
I will probably look it up at some point, but if somebody tells me, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I did finish the last episode today, so I do kind of liked how the last two kind of got it going. But I do agree with you with the fact of David. In the last half, I just feel like he kind of takes this turn out of nowhere.
I don't think it's out of nowhere. I think it's like, I think the intro kind of sets his character up as he's like becoming this like big, like the fire in David is sort of just getting bigger and bigger,
yeah.
and nothing can quell it. Not even Lucy, the girl he loves, is enough to stop him from just being bigger and better.
But and I also did glean from that, at least by the end, that he was doing it to protect Lucy in the end. Like that was he felt like, to like he said, to let her see her dream. That was his dream, and I thought that was a good moment. I thought that moment of her, like when they're kind of sliding down the building and they kind of have that moment together, very nice, touching stuff that genuinely like made me smile. And that's rare in a show like this, or just in an anime in general. Like I said, I am no anime fan. For the most part, usually.
Look at Witcher. I feel like the CD Projekt Red romance writing was not in Cyberpunk, but it was in Edgerunners.
No, I agree.
Like Lucy and David's romance.
I would say this is
really
stronger
good.
than The Witcher, honestly.
Really?
I think it's more. I think it's more well executed.
They're comparable.
I think they're.
I don't want to.
Don't get me wrong. It's like this for me.
Okay.
But I just think this is so well executed on the whole. Just everything works. Whereas there are a few things I can't think of specifically right now in The Witcher where I was like, that's cool, but I like the game better.
Yeah,
I like the what they're. But I also think animation allows them to stick a lot closer to these things and allows them to the kind of a creative freedom to do that. Whereas, you got to build sets in real life. You got to translate things to work, and that's more of a translation of the books.
And it feels like a very like high school kind of relationship. Like David's
Absolutely.
like clearly likes her from the beginning, and Maine is like you like her. Like it's pretty
my
obvious.
favorite part
and
with
he's
him was
running with her, and he's spending time with her, and like she's not really like giving him the due,
Well, she's not giving him. He's got to figure it out. That's the thing with all guys. You have to fucking shine a light in our eye that says go for it, or we're not gonna know what else is happening. But I like the moment where he was
they build up to that moment when they're on the roof, which is where Judy is. That same house, I'm pretty sure.
She the short one with the big hands?
No, that's her Judy from the game.
Oh,
She's
that's right.
The brain dance editor for the bar.
I remember.
Yeah. Like that shot is on that roof, and then you see like where the spaceport is and the rocket go up. Like we get 3 or 4 episodes of Lucy and David really building up to that moment.
Yeah.
Were you about to say something?
I don't think so.
I was after that. I was gonna just bring up. We have our other Edgerunners, Kiwi, who is like a pretty. She has the like detachable mouth.
Yeah, and okay, so that's it. So I thought that was just covering up kind of her face hole
I think
all the
she
time.
does not have a mouth.
That's why. Yeah, exactly. Okay,
right.
Yeah, that's what I assumed.
Yeah, because she smokes out of it.
One thing that is funny in this game and in this future world of how no one gives a shit about sexual things or anything for the most part.
Nudity is very normal.
They don't. Yeah, she's just walking around after her like fucking neural bath, just naked. Lots of tits. Lots of not lots, but
there's vagina too.
I was gonna say lots of tits
in every outro.
It was funny. I was sitting there with Ian, walks by my roommate, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know you watch anime." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I guess this really is."
Check this out.
And then he's coming out, and it's just tits and pussy. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, I really like the use of nudity in this.
I think it is well done too.
It feels like. I mean, like when you're seeing like Lucy like come out of her ice bath after she's net running and she's naked, it's like. It's not really like
they don't tend to linger. I will get they don't. It's really more of like, all right, it's establishing.
And he's like looking at her, obviously because he's attracted to her, but like there's like I don't know, she like doesn't really care.
Well, and this does seem to be a future where just sexual stuff is really not.
And Kiwi's the same thing.
Exactly,
and we do get a dick.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you absolutely, and even guys they just don't. Every time you see fucking them in their apartment together.
Pilar.
Yeah,
he's like peeing, and you can see his dick.
Hilarious, but
Pilar was cool for as little as he was around.
That was the guy with the long arms.
Yeah, with the fingers. Yeah. And then Rebecca, his
she
sister.
grew on me a lot.
Yeah.
I will say, I was like, oh, this girl's fucking annoying at the beginning, but by the end, I was like, okay, she's actually.
And then there's Falco, who is like the driver, who's not in most of it and comes in towards the end. What
is that? Troy Baker?
Matt Mercer.
Oh, who's playing him?
Yeah,
he really sounds like Troy Baker to me. I don't know why.
He plays McCree.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
It's like the same voice.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
I don't know
Matt
why I was
Mercer.
picking up Troy Baker for some. Was he? Does he play anything in this? I feel like there was another
No.
the other exec too. Arasaka sounded like him too. I don't know. It's or not the security person.
I mean, Giancarlo Esposito does a great job as Faraday.
He's really good as Faraday.
He really ups his I am Arasaka.
He's
the way the inflection on his voice. Obviously, Giancarlo Esposito is sort of he's sort of typecasted as a villain.
As a villain, for sure,
But
yeah.
I think with this performance, he definitely he uses his voice a lot.
He makes it a bit more theatrical.
And
maybe.
Faraday with the 3-eye thing, which looks like something from Evangelion. I'm like, this is really cool.
I don't know why.
looking.
He kind of reminded me of a Yu-Gi-Oh character for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah,
that's just what it
like
harkened.
Kaiba?
Yeah, exactly. Something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. No, I really think his design, again, character design and models in this, very individual and very unique.
Yeah.
And even just
Everyone looks very different. They're silhouettes, right?
you can tell right off the bat
they
who
gotta
it is.
pop.
Action-wise, very good stuff too.
Oh,
I gotta
yeah.
say.
I mean, obviously, we're in a hyper-violent world. We
Absolutely.
have hyper-violent action. We get a lot of fight scenes between not only Arasaka, but different gangs, the animals. I'm trying to think of the people with the weird faces.
Oh, I can't remember. It starts with an M. The guys that you at the beginning of the game that
Yeah.
you go in.
Yeah.
Mal. Oh, it's right there. Damn it.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
look it
Google.
up.
I'm gonna
No,
Google.
that you don't see a ton of them in this. That's the full-on board gang, right? That gets so close, they're basically almost not human
Hold on,
anymore.
I got you.
The Mal. I can't remember. But yeah, no. Action-wise, just in general,
Maelstrom.
Maelstrom.
Yeah.
Maelstrom. I
Yes,
couldn't remember.
and we see the tiger claws as well.
Yep.
I mentioned the animals. And it's cool.
Which one are the animals again? I don't remember.
the
them.
ones who are really jacked.
Okay.
They're very.
They're in the
quick.
game too?
Yeah,
Interesting.
they're the ones with that park that's super empty.
Right. I remember exactly what you're talking
The
about.
mall,
Yeah.
not a park.
Oh, right. Where
And I
you go
like
to do the fight.
David lives in San Domingo.
Yeah.
And then the locations in the game are 1-to-1. I watch a video where the guy goes to locations that are just seriously ripped right out of the game.
Yeah. And even there's one point where when they're going to Arasaka Tower at the end, you see the map almost exactly how it is in the game.
Yeah,
stuff, too.
and that docking room that Atom Smasher comes out in and Faraday's in the dropship. I'm that's right from the game.
Just a quick tangent. How the hell did we not have flying cars in Cyberpunk? Like that.
True.
That's just one where I'm just it's the little things. Anyways,
And the guns as well.
great stuff.
Yeah.
There was some pretty rough looking scene, when David's going crazy and the guns are growing out of their face and shit.
I mean, hey, I going back to the cyberpsychosis thing. I like the way they visually
Visualize it.
display
Yeah.
these people going fucking insane.
Yeah.
And then watching their face and their eyes, I'm
I don't even know how to
I
describe
think,
it. Yeah.
and I don't even think the game could have really accomplished that.
No, it's unless it
And
literally puts
only-
you through a cyberpsychosis.
Only an anime medium can really capture levels
go that far.
of intensity like that in certain ways. You can do animation, sure, anime and animation.
I think anime just lends itself very much to that kind of more hyperactive display of things, if that makes
Sure.
any sense. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, the cyberpsychosis thing is just interesting. Like you're saying, it's cool to expand on those certain things within the world. And even I did like that scene at the beginning when David loses his mom and the trauma team shows up. And they're just oh no, they're not on the thing. Get out of here. They just leave them. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it is. They do a good job of illustrating how this world works for everyone within it.
Yeah, and Max Tack showing up,
Yeah.
and Max Tack being this fuck, it's Max Tack.
Yeah,
you get
don't
the
fuck
fuck
with
out
them.
of here.
Yeah.
Even Trauma Team, they're scared of Trauma Team.
Absolutely.
They don't want to fight them.
Platinum card, baby.
Yeah, and I like how again, all this game stuff is coming over. I would understand being a little bit lost about some stuff like that because they don't really. I mean, I think Trauma Team makes sense.
I think you could
can
probably glean
understand
that, yeah.
the context, but
Max
understanding that Max Tack is special forces that come out only when cyber psychos are out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do, again, I like the idea
Same with
of
the
exploring.
language.
Yeah.
I think you can catch on to it, but you get a lot more of the language and the vernacular in the game.
Absolutely, because
because
there's so many hours of it. Yeah.
Yeah, Eddies. What is Eddies? It's Eurodollars.
Yeah.
So that's their currency, but they never really
Call them that, yeah.
flat out say that.
Yeah.
So it's just I guess you could
Honestly, I didn't even know they were Euro. I mean, now that you're
Really?
saying it, I do remember seeing that in the game now,
Yeah,
but
it's
I didn't even think
Eurodollars.
about it. Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting. yeah, man, overall, I got to give them credit for making something that truly surprised me. And I'm trying to think of anything else like
Hey man,
big
I bought
that
the
stuck
shirt.
out.
That's
Yeah,
how much
no,
I like it.
and it looks good. I like the colors.
Thank you.
Animation style, great, and that's just one of the big keys for me. Again, very anime style compared even to a Castlevania, but it works, and I think especially within this universe, it was made with that in mind almost. Like you could see the inspiration in Cyberpunk that are from these kind of anime style things and such. But Gooch, was there anything else?
Yeah, I was trying to think of anything else we missed per se. I think we hit it. Like the show is. I'm glad Cyberpunk can get a second life out of this.
I'm hoping this will get us a second DLC, especially if Phantom Liberty sells well.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sadly I didn't jump. I'm not going to be jumping back into Cyberpunk for the Edgerunners was like the last update for like the last gen version of the game, and they added David's Code into the game. You can get Rebecca's shotgun, and like there's tons of stuff from Edgerunners in the game now, which is dope.
It's cool
and
a few different gigs and stuff. I've been playing a little. There are definitely gigs in there that I've never played before as I'm going through.
Yeah,
which is cool.
I did hear about that as well. And yeah, I'm Phantom Liberty, man. I'm really excited to go back to Night City.
I hope they lean into the RPG stuff a bit more.
I'm curious,
and I hope there's a lot more choice. But
yeah,
we'll see.
And it's going to be about Militech, and we dealt a ton
and
with
the
Arasaka.
United States government, or like the fallen United States government.
Yeah, Militech
right?
is the United States government.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Yes,
okay,
technically.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's the company like they become.
And then Night City, the idea is it's set on the in between the new United States and the free states, right? Isn't that the idea? That's what I was seeing online. It's
so.
like kind of like the border town that like separates the two. So that would be again. I think this idea of diving deep into that lore and things like that could be so cool.
And I guess Keanu's coming. Yeah, Keanu's coming back for that.
Keanu,
or he did the lines very. No, see, like I almost doesn't make sense.
But the thing, I don't think.
It was
I don't
part
know
of his contract.
Why would he not come back? Because I really don't feel like
he's a big actor and he's tough to get.
That could be one, but I don't think he had a bad relationship with them at all.
I don't think so.
I think he enjoyed
I'm sure he doesn't
doing
give a shit.
I'm and even I don't know. There was this big hullabaloo.
He's like Edgerunners. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, there was like this big kind of hullabaloo when he said he never played the game, and then there was CDPR said that the
Matrix interviews.
But then it's like. But I do kind of get like maybe they talked to his manager and the manager's like, yeah, he played it, he loved it, like, and they're like, so I don't know, I think he.
I mean, I'm sure they sent him a copy.
Oh, 100%. No, I think so too. But yeah, I don't know. I don't see him being like no, unless he was busy. But yeah. I'm excited for that.
This game's been fantastic. This anime has been fantastic. The conversation around has been fantastic.
The game is fun too. Again, I would say if you have a next gen console. I think Cyberpunk's worth your time.
Cyberpunk.
I do. I mean,
you're good.
they definitely, don't get me wrong, they lied about a lot of things. They didn't come through with a lot of stuff, and there was a lot of shitty things.
But they're making
launch.
improvements.
They're making improvements. I will give them credit on that. It sucks that we have the initial stain of what happened, but good stuff. Give it a shot. Especially right now, I think it's like $10, or it was for the past couple days, and you get the free upgrade to next gen. So, yeah, that's it.
I hope we see something else like this, like you were saying, the anthology. I really want to see more of this.
I agree. Cyberpunk :
whatever.
Arasaka, whatever. There could be so military.
Yeah, you can make more characters for this show before or after the game. I would,
100%, totally agree. Well, guys, thanks and gals, thanks so much for watching with us live on twitch.tv/Delco Network. We very much appreciate you stopping by. You can find this podcast anywhere podcasts are found. Just search Delco Nerd Network. We are on all your social medias as well. Delco Nerds on basically everything. We got a Facebook page. We got a Discord channel, which will be linked down below. If you can drop a like, a comment, a subscription, a review on any of your favorite podcast services, it helps us out a ton. You can find all this information at our website, delconerdnetwork.com. You can email us, delconerds@gmail.com, with all your comments, questions, or concerns. We'd be happy to get back to you. But for Gooch, I've been Trio. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay nerdy, and we will see you next time.